Hello, and welcome to my Glitch in the Matrix stories video. This is such an interesting concept to me, and I love when we talk about it together because finding evidence of and proof that this is a kind of matrix, kind of hologram simulation experience is just cool because it aligns with a lot of spiritual teachings. And the more that we can find proof for things like that, I feel like the more open-minded we can be and accepting we can be and aware as a society. And so I'm just gonna go over a couple of stories here for you. In general, I have had things disappear on me. I've heard of people having doubles of stuff too, where it was a super unique item that they found in a thrift store or something, and all of a sudden they have two of them and they're like, there's no way. So for me, it's the opposite. I have lost things that I knew where they were, I kept track of them, and they're just gone. Sometimes they reappear, sometimes they don't, but I do know that sometimes people have theories that spirits can take items as well as fairies. So that's just kind of a general thing. But this was crazy a couple years ago when I was still going to school, still going to university. I received a little Pez candy holder thing. You know, those little, they have different ones and you kind of like pop the top and it's like a dispenser for little candies. And it was a Christmas themed one. I think my parents had sent it in the mail for me or something. And I went to school for apparel merchandising. And a part of that is talking about marketing and the reason for different product development decisions. And like the aesthetic of how things look is way more intentional and way more like thought out than people might realize. Even just regular, everyday, the most basic objects, a lot of decision making was a part of that process in coming up with those details for things like aesthetic and convenience and durability. I mean, the list goes on. So I got this Pez. It was a snowman. And it had a painted yellow circular nose. I remember this so clearly because as somebody who is currently going to school, learning these things about what I just described, I thought to myself, well, it would be more effective if it was why didn't they at least paint a carrot or have a carrot be on it? Like, I wonder why they may have made this decision when it's such an iconic look for it to be a carrot nose. And so then my brain, the cog started turning. I was like, okay, maybe it was a safety hazard. If they didn't want something pointy on a toy like this that's usually meant for kids, maybe they didn't want it to scratch them or hurt them in some way. But then I thought, oh, well, maybe they could make the nose shorter or make it not as pointy. I think it still would have passed this message and this image on of a snowman, you know? And so I just remember having this inner dialogue with myself, probably for way too long, but I don't know, I guess I'm hyperfixate on details like that sometimes, but especially when I get to apply the knowledge that I'm learning in school, like you want a reason to be learning what you're learning, you know what I mean? So it's like I tried to think through it from a consumer perspective, but also a manufacturer/retail perspective. So I thought long and hard about this. And this is significant because I put that Pez in a drawer and forgot about it for a couple weeks. I pulled it out again after literally not looking at it. And guys, it had a nose. It had a carrot nose. It had a carrot nose. There was a piece of plastic on top of it. like, I'm telling you, it was an orange circle before, painted on, like printed on this plastic surface. And now all of a sudden it was a carrot, like a short carrot on it. There's no freaking... I remember I had a sticky note and I put question mark, exclamation point. And then I put it on the Pez and put it away again because I was all freaked out. I thought, no, there's no way. I wish I would have taken a picture beforehand so I could prove to myself that no, it was definitely painted on as a circle before. But then the more I thought about it, you know, just energetically, I've grown up with intuitive abilities my whole life. And so, I don't know, once that happened, I just felt weird. I felt freaked out by this thing. So I threw it away. I threw it away. And I'm pretty sure that I took a picture of the carrot nose on it, but then I also deleted the picture because I didn't want the energy to be attached to the picture. But then again, it's like, well, even if I still had the picture, I didn't take a picture before. So I'm like, that is just... Some people could say, and this has crossed my mind, the whole manifestation thing. Like, I thought so long and hard about it that I manifested. I created this nose on this thing. Like... I don't know, maybe, because this is a matrix, this is a simulation, but, that was just insanity. That's probably my craziest story. Well, actually, no, I have 2 more stories for you that are pretty insane. So, the second one, this happened, actually I have 3 more stories, but one of them's kind of short. Anyway, I have a paper that's guiding me, so I don't miss anything. So this one happened recently, which is really interesting. I'm freaking out about it still. This happened literally, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. So a little while back when I first moved into this new space that I'm in, there was a local girly meetup. If you guys have heard of the app Bumble BFF, it's a way to meet people in your area. And so we had planned this aesthetic little painting picnic where we brought snacks and also painting supplies. And we were going to go to a park and set up these, you've probably seen them on Pinterest. You make little tables on the ground with wooden pallets that come in shipments of like, you know, to grocery stores and stuff, and people usually just have them in piles in parking lots, and you like they give them to you for free or whatever. So there was a business, a local business that a girl and I picked up some pallets from. I took one and then she took one. And then when we got to the park, we realized, maybe we don't want to use the pallets. They're kind of heavy, and it was busy. This is a park that has a bunch of stuff around it, like a zoo and a golf course. And like, it was just a beautiful sunny Saturday or whatever. And so everybody was at this park. And so we thought, no, it's not worth the hassle. These are heavy things, and everybody's spread out across this giant park trying to find parking in these lots that are full. Like, it was just kind of a chaotic day. And so we ended up not using them. The pallet was in my trunk, and so I texted my roommates, hey, I don't know if you guys want this, but I'm going to just throw this away. And I put it on the curb. But then I noticed, I'm trying to remember, I think I went to run an errand and then I came back and the pallet was gone. So I thought, oh great, that means that the garbage people took it or somebody in the neighborhood took it or whatever. But then when I went to the garage, it was in the garage. And my roommates, I remember clearly my roommates telling me, oh, we don't have bulk, large garbage pickup. You know, like if you have a couch or a chair or a table or some big piece of furniture that you're throwing out, and usually you can just leave it on the curb for somebody to take or the garbage people to take it. But apparently in this neighborhood, this is like a gated community. It's like a brand new, like freshly built community. I was told that they don't have bulk, large item throwaway capabilities. So I thought, oh, okay. So I remember my roommate literally told me, oh, you can list it on Facebook Marketplace, or you can post about it in our little community neighborhood group on Facebook, because we do have one of those. And so I did. I made a listing and all the measurements of it, like, hey, I have this palette, you can pick it up for free, like, DM me if you're serious and I'll give you the location, you know. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it. I reposted it and added a video to it even, you know, to increase the visibility or whatever, because like listings with more content tend to be pushed more to eyeballs, I guess. Nothing worked, and weeks went by, and it was just sitting in the garage, and I felt bad because eventually, actually, because I live with 2 roommates, one of my other roommates was like, we can break it down and then put it in the garbage can together. And I was like, yes. Because at first they were like, oh, I'll do it. And I was like, no, I'll help you because that's annoying. And like, this is made out of wood. So like, and it's mine. Like, I'll help you. You don't have to do it by yourself. And so I kind of told them, oh, well, I listed it on these places. We'll see if anybody wants it. And then nobody did. So then finally, after forgetting to for a little while at this point, I told my roommate in person, hey, I'm so sorry. Nobody wants that stupid, annoying palette. And then they told me, oh, no, we moved it into the garage that day because our other roommate wants it. He like, they want to take it to work or whatever. I distinctly remember us having that conversation about the large garbage thing, and like bulk pickup was not a thing in our neighborhood. And they went on to say, oh yeah, well, they have to borrow their dad's truck, and because it won't fit in their car, and so they're gonna take it to work with their dad's truck and like all this kind of whatever. And I'm like, that's so interesting. And in that moment, the conversation ended, I walked away, and I was like, I jumped timelines. I had to have, because that was such a specific conversation. And then it's strange because once we had that conversation, I started seeing couches and larger items on people's curbs here in this neighborhood, when I didn't really see that before. And again, maybe those people had others who wanted those, and so they took them and not the garbage people. But it's like, I don't know. I just think that's an interesting detail in all this. So isn't that weird? I'm like, okay, well, hey, at least it's it's fine. I don't have to worry about getting rid of it anymore, you know? So next story is, I wonder when this was. It was when I was still going to community college. So this was before university. This was a couple years ago, like, I don't know, 4 years ago. And it was late at night. I was driving home from my ex-boyfriend's house. He was my boyfriend at the time, but now he's my ex. This is the road that I've taken so many times, and it's literally 9 minutes away from where I was living at the time. It was late. Nobody's really on the road. Super easy, super quick to get home. Again, this is a very familiar road. And what's crazy is that there were some trees off to my right as I was approaching this stoplight. And this is gonna sound so weird maybe, but I can't make this up. I can't make this up. And just for you skeptics out there, my boyfriend, my ex and I weren't drinking, we weren't using anything, we weren't doing anything. It was literally just one of those nights where we had a movie night, took a little nap, and then I went home. So literally, I approach this stoplight. There are blue flames in the trees. And I'm trying to compute what I'm seeing. Because not only are these flames close to electrical lines, and so my brain is kind of going, oh my goodness, if it catches on these lines, that could be very devastating. So I was kind of freaking out about that. But then also, what the hell, blue fire? And the thing about it is that it being a hallucination, I don't think is very actually logical, because it was so bright, I noticed that objects surrounding it, like store windows and metal objects around this flame, were reflecting that light. So if it was a hallucination, I would think that it would just be like a, just an image, but there was evidence and literally light reflecting off of surrounding objects. Like, come on, like there's no, I guess let me know in the comments, but again, I wasn't doing anything. Maybe I was a little tired because it was late, but like I've driven down this road at this same exact time so many times. So I saw this flame. I was freaking out about it getting close to the electrical lines. I drive past it, and I didn't drive under it. It was like off to the side. So I drove past it, but at this point I was getting worried. I thought, oh my gosh, maybe I need to pull over and call somebody, because it's so late. Nobody's out on the road. This could totally explode or something horrible, and nobody's gonna see it, and then maybe it could cause more damage. So as I drive past, I look in my rear view mirror and it's gone. Nothing is there, and nothing was burnt up. None of the leaves, none of the branches of the trees. It was as if nothing even happened. So, okay. Just one more mention here. So the final the final way that I see, and I've seen this recently, this is the most recent occurrence probably, seeing street and neighborhood names of places I used to live in this new place that I live. Like a neighborhood nearby is literally the name of the town that I grew up in. And then a town it is a town. I don't know if I can call it a city because it's small, but there's an area that is not that far of a drive from me that I go to sometimes, and it's literally the name of the town I went to school in. Like it's called the oh my gosh, how do I describe this? It's the town name, and then the street names are cities in that area. Does that make sense? So it's like, and I'm trying not to give away, I'm sorry if this is confusing, I just, for privacy and for safety, I don't want to say too many details. But here, it's the name of the territory, okay? The name of the town is the name of the territory I went to school in. And then the street names of this town are the cities from that territory. There you go. Hopefully that makes more sense. So, yeah, that is really, really weird. And I actually keep seeing my hometown's name on different things too. So again, it's just proof that this isn't real. And I say that not to be like conspiracy and like, ooh, like heretical or whatever. It's like, if that's even a word, heretic. Live the way that you want to. Create the life that you want. Live and do what you love, because this isn't even real anyway. So, okay. That's it. Those are all my stories so far. It's pretty freaky when stuff like this happens. So please, I love hearing and sharing stories. So if you have an experience, please share it down below in the comment section if you feel comfortable. I would absolutely love to see that. And be sure to check out the description as well, because there are a lot of goodies in there, including my Etsy store, and I'm going to be launching a podcast soon, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. And I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.